Good afternoon, you're watching the news at 1. In your headlines, South Africa mourns the passing of struggle stalwart Ahmed Kathrada.
In your business news, Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan has landed back in the country, and he says Treasury managed to speak to all three major ratings agencies before leaving the United Kingdom.
Tula sizwema unaboka Jehova uzokugomela tula sizwema unaboka.
Well, we are continuing with our special broadcast of remembering the life and times of ANC struggle icon Ahmed Kathrada, who died this morning at the age of 87.
Our reporter, Griselda Lewis, is at the Thabo Mbeki Foundation. She's with South African politician Aziz Pahad. Let's cross to her now.
Well, Nzinga, as those tributes continue to pour in now, we're speaking to many people across the length and breadth of South Africa who shared special moments with this struggle icon, not just in ordinary day life, I must say, but also those who were in the forefront with him in the struggle for liberation in this country. Let me chat now to Aziz Pahad, who was from the very beginning like a brother to you. What I would recall most, I think, Mr. Pahad, is if we go back to the Transvaal Indian Youth Congress, when you were born in Swartrenega, exactly where he was born as well. You moved to Johannesburg, you grew close, like brothers.
Yes, our families were very close from Swartrenega, and then we all came to Johannesburg. His family didn't come, so he was still remained very close within our family circle. And because he was older than us, he's the one who mentored us into the Transvaal Indian Youth Congress. And as he was growing older, he made sure that we fell under his influence. And he was, when he got to an age, when he was already now on the leadership of the Indian youth, and he was a regular visitor at our flat. And so,
in fact, your flats were across each other.
And so he was an amazing teacher. He was very disciplined, and he always made sure that we were disciplined. And the one thing I remember of Kathy was those days, besides our work in the Transvaal Indian Youth Congress, he used to make sure we go out putting up posters, distributing leaflets, selling the New Age. And if we didn't, because we were playing sports and that, he would summons us and tell us when it's time to play sports, when it's time to do political work. But he is the one who encouraged us to form the Dynamos Football Club,
yes,
which was an amazing club at that time, and which was created so that we could go into what was historically the so-called colored areas and African areas to play football. But it was a football team that he oversaw in many ways, but left it us to develop and run.
Having spent so much time with him, I think you have the privilege of having known him from a very young age. And what are some of the most captivating moments, perhaps one that you could speak about, that South Africans don't know about the Uncle Kathy that you came to know as a brother?
Well, there are many moments, as you can understand.
Just one.
But I will share with you when suddenly I received communications with secret codes from somebody who brought it from Robben Island to me in London, and I was then supposed to communicate with him using those codes. And when eventually he came out of prison, the first thing he said to me, "You as naughty as you were when you were younger, you never continued to write those letters to me." And I said, "But you know, Uncle Kathy, in exile, when you are told, they don't explain that, look, there are other channels of communications, don't continue the channels." I then had stopped communicating. And every time I saw him, whether it was in Lusaka when they first arrived, when they came to Sweden
Yes.
to meet with O.R. Tambo. I was there and we had very good social discussions, but he always reminded it I've been naughty since I was young. And I'll never forget that. I think even the last time I saw him here in Johannesburg, he reminded me of my naughtiness. But I've always remembered Kathy as somebody through the early days made sure that you did not interfere with your own social life, sports, but you never let it interfere with political work. And he never allowed me to go to his flat, although he was a regular visitor at our flat, where all the social activities took place. Because in that sense, he was very disciplined. He would say, you cannot socialize with me. We can meet at your flat, you can come to my flat, but never when we meet in other leaders socially. And that he kept the line.
Well, unfortunately, I think that's where we're going to leave it at this time. Aziz Pahad there, a veteran in his own right in the struggle for liberation in this country, paying tribute to a man he refers to as his elder brother. Of course, they moved about the very same time from Swaziland to Johannesburg and were very involved then in the Transvaal Indian Youth Congress. And he says he'll always remember him, for the humor as well as the jokes that he would make. And certainly, I think as these tributes continue to pour in here, Nzinga and Natasha, we're really getting a sense of the other side of this man, not just the political heavyweight, but what he was like day to day with people who considered him to be his brother, who considered him to be his uncle, as well as somebody who was very instrumental in their lives, not just in the political sphere, but on a very personal level as well.
Griselda Lewis coming to us there, continuing to bring us tributes of Ahmed Kathrada, who passed away this morning at the age of 87. We'll continue speaking to Griselda throughout the day. Recently, Kathrada was admitted to hospital